Meghan Markle is being accused of trying far too hard to convince the public and major media that everything about her pregnancy was real, especially as more attention builds around claims that the birth story does not fully add up. Critics say this moment looks staged, as if she were putting on a show just to silence doubters, pointing at the camera through her actions instead of words, as if to say, everything checks out. Some commentators believe there is a pattern here, pointing to past appearances where her baby bump looked unusual or inconsistent, raising further questions about what was actually going on. The timing also adds pressure, with speculation growing rapidly and spreading worldwide for all the wrong reasons. This situation matters because of the royal family line, especially regarding Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, since rules around succession depend heavily on specific traditions. That is why people are watching so closely and breaking down every detail. The video itself sparked strong reactions, with many saying her posture and movements did not look natural at all. On top of that, critics argue the behavior did not match royal expectations and came across as disrespectful to the monarchy, putting King Charles in an awkward position. As the clip spread globally, reactions exploded online, and even major media figures started paying. People began wondering if there was more behind the story, and why this situation keeps raising so many eyebrows. Mainstream media reactions started shifting quickly, and suddenly, what was once dismissed as online gossip began receiving serious attention. Prominent voices in commentary circles started questioning whether this situation could actually have a major impact on Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Some analysts also pointed out that past appearances had already raised concerns, especially when it came to the baby bump appearing inconsistent in size and shape. Observers described it as unusually large and sitting lower than expected, which only added to the confusion and speculation building across different platforms. Others reacted with visible discomfort, saying the images did not match what they consider appropriate public behavior, especially given royal expectations. There was a sense that the visuals did not align with those expectations. The traditional image associated with the monarchy made the situation feel even more awkward to watch. When footage from a hospital setting surfaced, the reaction intensified even further. Viewers focused on the size and appearance of the stomach, with some saying it looked exaggerated compared to typical expectations, which fueled even more online debate. Critics also argued that the timing of the video felt intentional, as if it were meant to push back against growing rumors and regain control of the narrative. The overall response quickly escalated, with people across media and social platforms continuing to question what they were seeing. People continued questioning what they were seeing and why it did not sit right with them. Critics did not hold back when reacting to the video, asking why someone who is supposedly pregnant would move in such a bold and attention-grabbing way, while highlighting a bump that many already doubt. For them, it simply did not add up, and the visuals only made the situation feel more confusing. Media personalities also pointed out what they see as a contradiction in messaging, especially after repeated claims about wanting privacy from the public eye. Now, with more personal moments being shared, the scrutiny has only increased. Online, including glimpses of family life, some are asking why the approach seems to have completely changed. The hospital clip became the center of attention, with viewers reacting strongly to the dancing and overall presentation. Many described it as uncomfortable to watch, saying it felt more like a performance than a private moment, especially given the setting and timing. Others focused on how the video was shared publicly, arguing that it added pressure to an already controversial narrative. Instead of calming speculation, it seemed to intensify reactions and spark even more debate across media platforms. There were also predictions about what this could mean in the long term, with some suggesting further consequences could follow. Some commentators suggested that ongoing controversies in public moments like this could impact both personal and professional stability. Questions about future projects, public image, and the strength of their partnership are now being raised more than ever. More reactions poured in, and some commentators even went as far as predicting a future where Prince Harry could return to the United Kingdom alone, while Meghan Markle might struggle to regain public support there. That idea alone shows how intense the conversation has become. Online discussions also picked up speed, with viewers analyzing small details from the video and questioning whether the setting even matched what would normally be expected in that situation. These observations added another layer of doubt and kept the speculation growing quickly. Others focused on image and reputation, arguing that this moment pushed things into uncomfortable territory and did not match the traditional standards tied to royal titles. There were even calls from some voices suggesting that official changes could be considered, showing just how strong the backlash is becoming. A lot of people also compared this to viral celebrity moments, saying that shock value might grab attention at first, but it rarely helps in the long run and can lead to further criticism instead. Can damage public image over time if it feels forced or unnatural. The idea that this could backfire in the long term is now a major talking point. As the full clip continued circulating, reactions only intensified, with many saying the visuals felt more like a staged performance than a genuine moment. The combination of timing, presentation, and public response has turned this into one of the most talked about controversies right now. The clip kept escalating with energetic dancing and bold movements that many viewers felt did not match what would be expected from someone at that stage of pregnancy. What really caught attention was how the bump appeared to shift in size and shape during the video, which only added more confusion and debate online. Some commentators questioned whether those kinds of movements would even be realistic so late in a pregnancy, pointing out that it seemed unlikely based on general expectations. That doubt quickly spread, with more people analyzing the footage frame by frame and sharing their concerns. Others avoided making firm claims, but admitted the situation felt off, especially given how the visuals came across compared to typical experiences. For many watching, the reactions only added to ongoing debate and speculation surrounding the clip. It created a sense of disbelief rather than reassurance. There is also a growing theory that constant positive coverage in major media may have created a disconnect, making moments like this seem like a good idea internally, but landing very differently with the public. Critics argue that this gap could explain why the reaction has been so intense and widespread. As the video continues circulating, some believe the backlash could push new narratives or explanations to appear, especially if the clip reaches an even bigger audience. Right now, the conversation is only getting louder, and the questions are not slowing down. More critics have jumped in, adding further commentary to the ongoing debate. Questions were raised about how the bump looked on camera, with some arguing that it did not resemble what people typically expect to see, which only added more tension to the situation. That visual alone has become a major talking point, with many viewers struggling to make sense of it. One commentator reacted strongly, saying the video was shocking to watch and could even be used by critics of the monarchy as an example of things going in the wrong direction. The concern here is not just about the clip itself, but how it reflects on the wider image of the royal institution. There is also frustration about mixed messaging, with claims that privacy has been a priority. Yet moments like this are shared publicly and end up drawing even more attention. That contrast is what keeps people questioning the intent behind the release. Timing became another major issue, with many pointing out that sharing something like this much later raises even more questions about why it was released now. Some believe it is linked to ongoing struggles with public image and online projects not gaining the traction expected. Despite all the criticism, there are also opinions suggesting the relationship itself will remain intact, mainly due to shared interests and long-term commitments. Still, the overall reaction shows this situation has struck a nerve, and it continues to spark debate across different audiences. The debate kept heating up, with some voices calling for major consequences, even suggesting that removing royal titles would actually boost the monarchy's image instead of hurting it. That idea is gaining traction among critics who feel the situation has gone too far and is now damaging the institution's reputation. At the same time, others are urging caution, especially when it comes to the younger generation connected to the family. There is a belief that future outcomes should not be decided too quickly, since those individuals could grow up to play a positive role and carry forward a long-standing legacy. From an international perspective, reactions feel somewhat more distant, with some audiences viewing this entire situation as part of broader public scrutiny, rather than a settled judgment, as more of a media spectacle than a serious constitutional issue. In places like Australia, the focus tends to stay on other senior royal figures. While this controversy is treated more like entertainment headlines rather than something deeply impactful, there is also a wider concern about balance, with people pointing out that weakening long-standing institutions could create bigger issues down the line. Even those who are critical of the current situation still recognize the importance of stability and tradition. Overall, the discussion continues to sit between criticism, media interest, and broader concerns about institutional continuity. Many agree that the behavior being discussed does not reflect well on the royal image, and it continues to raise questions about standards, expectations, and long-term impact. The conversation started turning toward the future of the monarchy in a much bigger way, with strong opinions about whether slimming it down is actually a smart move or a risky one. Some voices push back hard against the idea of a smaller royal circle, saying it could weaken the institution instead of helping it, especially at a time when public trust already feels shaky. At the same time, there is ongoing debate about who deserves a place in that spotlight, with questions still hanging in the air and keeping the controversy alive. Certain situations have not been fully clarified, and because of that, many believe decisions about roles and status should not simply be brushed aside as if nothing happened. What is really gaining traction, though, is the push to elevate other royal figures who already have strong public support and a more stable image. People keep bringing up names like Zara Tindall and Mike Tindall, pointing out their down-to-earth presence and strong connection with the public. Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, is another standout, especially for her consistent reputation and the respect she has built over time. Even Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are being mentioned more often as part of a newer, more visible generation within the royal family. A more relatable generation that could help reshape the monarchy's image. The argument is getting louder. Why hold on to constant controversy when there are other members who could bring stability, respect, and a stronger public connection? Right now, that shift in thinking is starting to pick up serious momentum. Then there is an added twist of reports suggesting Prince Harry could even distance himself further by changing his last name, which would mark a major turning point and send an even stronger signal about separation from royal ties. Still, some analysts point out that much of this intense debate is happening in certain circles. While mainstream coverage often paints a different picture, the overall narrative appears divided depending on perspective and audience. The media coverage around the situation has been surprisingly soft in some areas, with headlines focusing more on celebration than controversy. Posts highlighting a birthday moment quickly shifted attention toward a video of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry dancing before the birth. However, without diving into the deeper questions that many people online are already discussing, what stands out is how difficult it is to even find criticism in some coverage. In certain mainstream spaces, unless you really go searching for it. At surface level, everything is presented in a polished, positive way, which creates a strong contrast compared to the intense reactions happening across social media and independent platforms. There is also a wider cultural divide showing up here, where some groups still view Meghan Markle as one of the most admired figures connected to the royal family. In fact, among certain audiences, she is seen as one of the most popular royal figures, which says a lot about how divided public opinion has become. That level of contrast continues to shape how the situation is being interpreted across different platforms. Support continues to shape how stories are framed, and what gets highlighted versus what gets ignored. This is where independent media starts to play a much bigger role, with commentators pointing out gaps in mainstream reporting and calling for more transparency around the full situation. Some believe key concerns are being left out entirely, especially when it comes to details that critics feel deserve at least some level of acknowledgement. The result is a growing disconnect between different audiences, where one side sees a carefully curated narrative while the other sees a story full of unanswered questions that continue to circulate. This story keeps growing, and the gap between public opinion and media coverage is becoming harder to ignore. On one side, there are clean, polished headlines that focus on positive moments, while on the other, there is a large wave of people online questioning details and asking for clearer answers. What is really pushing this situation forward is how quickly these clips and reactions are spreading. New viewers are joining the conversation every day, and once they see what is being discussed, they begin asking further questions about the claims and interpretations being shared. The same questions, which keeps the entire situation trending and gaining more attention. More commentators are also stepping in, not always to confirm anything, but to point out how unusual this all looks compared to past royal moments. That difference is what keeps people watching, because it does not match the kind of image the public is used to seeing from the royal family. There is also growing pressure on major media outlets to address the concerns more directly instead of only showing one side of the story. If that shift happens, it could significantly change how people around the world view everything that is going on. He thinks it is very, very bad for everyone, but she wants to do it for herself, regardless of the children. Right now, the momentum is not slowing down at all. Every reaction, every repost, and every new discussion adds more intensity to a story that is already full of tension and strong opinions. With so many people watching closely, this is turning into one of those moments that keeps getting bigger and harder to ignore. This situation is clearly not slowing down anytime soon. The reactions keep building, opinions keep dividing, and the questions are only getting louder. Every new clip, headline, and discussion adds more attention and keeps this topic firmly in the spotlight. What makes it even more interesting is how differently people are interpreting the same situation. Some believe everything is being misunderstood, while others feel there are still too many unanswered questions. That split is exactly why this story keeps growing and why so many people are still watching closely. Now it is your turn to speak up. What do you really think about everything that has been discussed? Come out. Do you believe the narrative being shown? Or do you think there is more going on behind the scenes? Your opinion matters here, and this is where the real conversation begins. Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the discussion. Read what others are saying, respond, and be part of the debate that everyone is talking about right now. If you found this interesting, make sure to like the video so more people can see it. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this because there is always more to uncover, and you do not want to miss the next update. And do not forget to share this with others, because this is one of those stories that gets people talking fast. Stay tuned, because this is far from over.